for saying. So, we are in one of the most beautiful inns that has been in operation for over 200 years. We've had presidents stay here. We are proud of our hometown, and obviously you are too, because you're in. This room is full, and I thank you. I thank you to so many of our elected officials that are here tonight, and folks, don't be offended at me, but tonight is about Christmas. I'm not going to represent you or recognize you individually, but I think all of you, most of you just come from the county commission meeting, and the thoughts of a good hot meal got you out of there in probably one of the quickest county commission meetings ever. So I know I'm on y'all's good list. I'm on the nice list with y'all tonight for sure. So we are very thankful to the Hawkins County Republican Party. We are very thankful for Hawkins County Republicans. The party has done an excellent job. I inherited a wonderful situation when I became chair almost 4 years ago. We have our past chairman, Mr. Billy Reeves, here with us tonight. And Hawkins County has been blessed with excellent Republican leadership for decades, and I am definitely the recipient of that, and I'm very thankful. I know there are several former chairpersons in this room, and I'm thankful for everyone who continues to support the Hawkins County Republican Party. Y'all know we had one of the biggest turnouts in voter turnout ever, and that is absolutely phenomenal. And thank each of you for your participation. I know many of you are poll workers, and I know that the extra voter turnout caused some extra diligence there, and y'all stepped up and got it done. And it was just, it's just, like I said, it's a great place to be in the history of our town, our county, our world right now. We really are in a much better place than we might have found ourselves in. With that being said, I think everyone is well aware that our region suffered some catastrophic effects from Hurricane Helene a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago now in September. And a couple of our Hawkins County strong GOP supporters stepped up to meet needs over there. They're from that area, they know that area, and most of you all know them because they have been very generous to us as Hawkins County Republicans, Hawkins County Republican women, to step up and donate their venue to us at Conley Farms, where we have our picnic now for the past 4 years. So I'm going to ask Cheryl Battaglia, President of Republican Women, to recognize her crew in just a moment. But first, I don't want anyone that might have to leave, and I know Representative Hicks has already had to step out, but I want everybody to be able to hear the stories directly from Monica and Richard Conley. They have started a nonprofit, Isaiah 54:10 Ministries. There are no paid employees in this ministry. They're using their own vehicles, and they're putting their own gas money in their own vehicles to do this. Every dime of donations tonight goes directly to them, and y'all have been very generous. I think the last time I counted, our checks written to them was in the amount of about $850 and some cash on top of that. Hawkins County Republican Women, under Cheryl's leadership, has promised a donation of $1,000 if we get $1,000 raised from the attendance here tonight, and the Hawkins County Executive Committee will donate $1,000 as well. So hopefully we're going to have a $3,000 donation, and that's something to be super proud of. Let's give everybody local needs being met by local people. There's lots of things that can be done, but I think the first thing we need to do is look around us and make an assessment and help meet our local needs. So I'll be quiet, y'all didn't come to hear me, and I'll turn the floor over to Monica and Richard and let them share from their heart, as I know they will.
Thank y'all for having us tonight. Appreciate all the assistance. I grew up in the little town of Burnsville, North Carolina. Y'all probably seen the community of Pensacola. You'll see it on Fox News pop up. You get in those little communities, and you've got 30 inches or more of rain that hit right there. And the water that we all saw hit Irwin came from Yancey and Mitchell County and Avery. I mean, that's why it's such a, you go, where we're going, little bitty streams were monsters and took homes without any warning. And you see a lot of families don't have loved ones, but God spared some people. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. This all started by us going to check on my siblings, my mother. We lost all communications on Friday when the storm when we all lost power here. And so we geared up on Saturday and we prepped for Sunday. We knew there was no communications. They couldn't communicate with me inside their own county. Ronnie made it possible if we need help, if we, a chopper or something, if we got any found someone in a bad way, we had a satellite phone where we could reach directly back to our county for assistance. God was great. We never had to use that, but that was a extra little ace we had carrying with us. We never expected to meet medics that didn't have the supplies that we had in our bodies. It's just, you don't expect them to walk up on a paramedic with no syringes, no bandages, bees swarming so bad. It's like you was around a swarm of honeybees everywhere you got out of a truck, because the storms had destroyed all the nests and the bees were just all over. And anybody was, you couldn't get EpiPens because everything was shut down. But God sent EpiPens from our county. God sent medical supplies from our county that supplied doctorate offices in Yancey County. And it went from all of that to this point in time. We're repairing homes, we're roofing homes, putting heat systems in homes, chainsaws in the hands of men who need them because they're wearing saws at you. You go into some communities and there's more timber on the ground than there is standing. And it's pretty shocking, especially in Mitchell County, the amount of timber. A picture couldn't do it justice. You just have to ride into Mitchell County and see acres and acres of large standing timber just on the ground, just uprooted. So any donation that is given, it's all going right into the communities. And when I need a church to reach out, or God will put a homeowner in front of it that needs a heat source or a roof on a home. I mean, God's allowed us to be able to do that.
And each time the need is arise, it seems like there's not funds for it. But by the end of the day or the first of the next morning, God has supplied from a random donation from honestly all over the country. It has been crazy to watch him go. Well,
yeah, John was with us. We've been in 3 counties one day. And the last place we pulled up, we had gasoline in the transfer tank, and we were going to leave it in that community. It was a very hard hit area. They didn't have a gas jug, and we did. And it broke our hearts. We promised them we'd be back the next morning with gas jugs.
They were trying to power generators.
Yep. And we rode 10 minutes up the road where we could get cell service.
With the plan that we were going to stop in every Tractor Supply and Home Depot and everything on the way home to get as many jugs as we could get.
That was our plan when we left. We were just going to spread out and do it. But as soon as she got cell service, a church had been gathering gas jugs all day.
In Greene County.
And wanted to know where they can meet us in Kingsport that evening with all the jugs. Now, I mean, and it was time and time again, like a home, we're going to be pouring a mud slab underneath the crawl space to seal the odor from where the creek just stood in it. And then we can put a heat and air system in. We didn't have the money when we looked at it. We had prayer with the homeowner. Before I left the little community of Bakersville, before I got into Tennessee, she called me and we had the money. Unbelievable. Don't know where it comes from.
God.
Yep. Yeah, God. I have a friend that I've never met in Alabama. He's a pastor of a cowboy church. He called me out of the blue. Don't know if he knew my name, how he got my cell number. I have no idea. Yeah, whoever, yeah, he said that Norman. I don't know Norman, but we just lives well, that was God somehow. But a community of on Cane River of Egypt Ranching Town, they lost all their fire departments. The two of them. The river completely wiped one away, and another one. There's a YouTube video of a homeowner who escaped his home before the river got him. He made it to the fire department, him and another man. They rode the storm out in the building until the fire truck started floating, and they cut their way through the roof and filmed it from the roof. And so it would take an hour to get down the river, that where it should take 10 minutes. And they brought me a truckload of big fire extinguishers to go into those communities to hand out. And then the man just calls me out of the blue, and he's crying. He said, God's laid it on my heart, Richard. He said, we need to give somebody a call. He said, find me. And no one, I promise you, no one been in that community day after day. No one had said a word about anybody needing a car. And there's a little lady, the river been in her house up, probably this far up, on the windows in it. And some guys that gave her a camper. And when I was asking in the community, the men was like, first thing if that, I said, Miss Ellen needs a car. And I called Alabama. 2 or 3 days later, they pull up with her a minivan. And she sees it, tickled to death. She said, now I can take my neighbors out of church. I mean, that was the first thing, she thought of helping. So it just,
this group will appreciate the story about why she got a camper and the neighbor next door got a house from them.
Oh, yeah. Because her and her neighbor lived real close to the river. And so it destroyed where they live. Well, the men come up and they met Miss Allen, and they were cleaning the debris up away from her home.
Amish. It was a crew of Amish men.
And they had a skid steer with them. And the camper they were living in, they decided when they met the little lady, they was going to give her the camper. But they turned and went down the rear to the next house. They had seen where Stacy had been up on his roof. He dug his clothes out of the mud and he wrote MAGA on the roof from being late. Everybody laughs and well, nobody, FEMA's going to pass you by with it. Well, I've yet to meet FEMA up there myself, but them guys come down there and said, we've seen what was on your roof. We're going to frame you up a little house.
And we got to put a roof on.
Yeah, we got to put a roof on. Metal company here in the county has donated metal. We've roofed 3 homes through donations and labor and young men from the county going up with me to volunteer to help roof homes for people. And, it's just
it's been incredible to watch God go.
Yeah.
I mean, I never realized that people would just give away a very, very nice camper or just give away a very, very nice vehicle, but yet they have gobs of them. I think we heard, did we hear one time there were 300 and something houses just completely erased in Yancey County alone? And if those people are not living with a family member, they are living in a camper that was donated by someone like y'all, just an individual. There is no FEMA housing in Mitchell and Yancey County at this point. So, y'all probably already know this, but that organization is not well set up for taking care of a disaster, or at least not in the mountains of North Carolina. They are set up in a building in town. They are not coming out. The infrastructure is getting better now, but it has been terrible. And I would think in a situation like this, like there would be vehicles that would like go out and set up and, have maybe Starlinks to help get applications in. That's not been the case. So that's been hard to watch. But anyway, God is provider.
Yeah.
And He is showing up in amazing ways.
Yeah, and when you're on the ground, if you see a home that's gutted, it ain't long you hear, well, this church is about to start redoing it. You know,
And Samaritan's Purse is awesome. They're everywhere, by the droves. Still are to this day.
Yeah.
They're, every time you drive out anywhere, you see them in a lot of places.
cut timber off of houses and roadways ever since right after the storm, and they're still up there set up. Just wiring chainsaws completely out. It's unbelievable when you go up there and there's still so many. You know, I've got a tie. You know, when you grow up somewhere, I pull up and it ain't long. There's somebody in my face that I grew up with and knew my whole life. And you know, even I didn't know that I was going to meet them that day, but it ends up. But these people, they're from Wisconsin, Texas, Louisiana. I know John and I, we ate with a community on Cane River. Church members from Louisiana drove up and cooked a big Thanksgiving meal for the whole community, and they were making it to-go plates, and they were packing in cars where they could go house to house. And you see that, and you go down to the next little church, there's somebody from Texas or Alabama or they're cooking, doing the same thing. It's just,
and that's still going on. And we just had a team leave from Kentucky that had come and stayed at the farm and had gone into work. We've got another group coming in from Colorado the week after Christmas, and a plumber coming in from Pennsylvania to help. So it's literally people from all over the country responding. So it's pretty incredible to watch.
Yeah, we had a little couple bring a camper Saturday from Ocean City, Maryland, and scared them to death. They'd never been in the country, but.
They made it, we made it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. Some people get a little panicky when they get off paved roads. We assured them that was a real good road, what we've been driving on. I don't think they believed us. But if anybody ever has any questions or anything, or want to make a trip up, it's you know.
We got plenty of work to do.
Yeah.
So.
Just whatever God lay on his heart. We'll be glad to let you go along. Thank you.
Yes. She said to say something about if you want to follow along with what we're kind of doing on a day-to-day basis, you can follow us. My Facebook is Monica Conley on Facebook, and I'm kind of keeping people updated there.
Thank you. Tonight to that organization, and at this time I'm going to introduce someone who doesn't necessarily need an introduction, because the Republican women in Hawkins County meet monthly. As the committee, the executive committee, we don't do that, but they do, and they, you know, if you follow Republican politics across the state of Tennessee, you'll find out that most of the things that get done by the Republican women. So I'm very grateful for Cheryl Battaglia and her leadership. I'm grateful to have her as my friend. As y'all know, 2024 has not necessarily been an easy year for me. And we had our big Lincoln Day scheduled, and my mother passed away on Tuesday before our Lincoln Day dinner. And our committee absolutely just stepped in and did everything that I would need to do that week. And I am very appreciative to each of those. Mr. Jason Roach is here. He is our vice chair. Of course, Cheryl is our secretary, as well as being president of Republican Women. Then we have Brett Price, whose daughter is home from college for the first night tonight, so that's why Mr. Brett is not with us. He and Casey Seibert are our co-treasurers, and Casey is at a basketball game. As many of y'all know, Casey has 3 children, so that keeps her quite busy. But my job is easy because of what these folks do. If you've ever been part of an organization, you know that the backbone of the organization are the people who are keeping the minutes, keeping the state guidelines satisfied, and keeping the financials paid on time. And having Brent and Casey and Cheryl do those things make what Jason and I do an absolute walk in the park. And I know Jason would echo that sentiment, that we're very grateful. We function very well as a committee, and one of the main reasons we do that, as I said earlier, is because of the great leadership we have had in Hawkins County for many, many decades. But like I said, I need to be quiet. Ms. Cheryl, take the floor with your Republican women officers, please.
Thank you, Pam. My name is Cheryl Battaglia. Believe it or not, I am a native from here. I was born, as my friends say, in the parking lot of O. Henry's at Lions Hospital. I was gone for 50-some years, but I've been back for about 10. So this is my home. It'll always be my home. So I am back home. So I too am a native. I am the president of the Republican Women of Hawkins County. I have a super vice president. We just had elections last week. It's Stacy Gillespie. Stacy, please stand. Treasurer across from her is Cindy Rutledge. And then we have our secretary, Dolores Johnson. And we have a new position we just restructured last week with Denise McLeod as our member at large. So these are the Republican women, our executive party. We do meet the second Thursday of the month at noon at Occasions on the Square. We're very sensitive to the fact that everybody is typically coming from their lunch hour, so we make sure we are right at least less than an hour or right at an hour. So we do respect your lunch hours. Men, don't think you're left out. We have the women, the membership is $30 per member. The men and students, we give them an associate membership at $15. That's our shameless plug. So Donna Sharp is taking applications if anybody wants to join our group, and please come. We have speakers every month, and we have lunch brought in, and it's very good. So thank you all very much. Pam?
Again, thank you all for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Our next event will be the Hawkins County Lincoln Day Dinner, and that will be my last event as chairperson. So we are looking for a new chairperson and vice chair. So if that's something that you feel like you would be willing to step up and do, I would be thrilled to talk to you about that. So that will be the next thing coming. If you don't follow our Facebook page, please do that. To those of you who didn't get the word until late about this dinner, I apologize. I try to text people, put it on Facebook, share it on my personal Facebook, as I know many of the committee does. But it is somewhat difficult to get the word out to everyone. So if you want to be updated, please see me tonight and share your cell phone number, and I'll be happy to try to text you and keep you aware. And you, like I said, please follow the Hawkins County Republican Facebook page. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your very generous contributions to the Isaiah 5410 Ministries, and have a very blessed and Merry Christmas. Y'all stay and visit as long as you'd like. Have dessert, seconds, whatever. But the end staff, I don't know where they are, but they have done a wonderful job as usual. Let's give a big hand of